What's the biggest overreaction you've seen leadership have to something tiny? A missing mop. One single mop caused a 3-day investigation, 4 counseling statements, and nearly ended a sergeant's career. I was working in the headquarters building, basically a glorified paper pusher. Quiet job, easy days. Nothing ever happened worth talking about. Our supply closet had exactly 12 mops. I know this because after everything went down, that number got burned into my brain forever. 12 mops, 6 brooms, 4 buckets, 2 floor buffers, all accounted for on a laminated inventory sheet taped to the door. One Monday morning, our new battalion commander decided to do a surprise inspection. Full bird colonel named Aldrich, just transferred from some high-speed unit in Germany, wanted to make his mark early. He walked through every office, every closet, every bathroom, checking everything against inventory lists. Most commanders do a quick walkthrough, shake some hands, move on. Not Aldrich. This man counted paper clips, literally. Watched him open a desk drawer and count paper clips. Then he got to the supply closet. I was sitting at my desk when I heard him call for the sergeant major. His voice had that tone, the tone that means someone's about to have a very bad day. There are 11 mops in this closet. I felt my stomach tighten, knew this wasn't going to end well. The inventory says 12, Aldrich continued. Where's the 12th mop? Our supply sergeant was this guy named Weston. Solid dude. 15 years in, never had a single negative mark on his record. He came rushing over, face already sweating. Sir, I'm sure it's just misplaced. Someone probably took it to another building for cleaning. Aldrich's eyes narrowed. So, you're telling me government property is unaccounted for? That someone removed equipment without proper documentation? Sir, it's a mop. Wrong answer. Aldrich launched into a speech about accountability, about discipline, about how small failures lead to big failures, how missing mops today meant missing weapons tomorrow, how this kind of negligence got soldiers killed in combat. Over a mop, a wooden stick with some strings on the end, maybe worth $8. He ordered a full investigation, not just our building, the entire battalion, every closet, every storage room, every maintenance shed, 400 soldiers hunting for a single mop. Weston got pulled into the commander's office for 2 hours, came out looking like he'd aged 10 years. His eyes were red. I'd never seen him like that. The investigation expanded. They started interviewing everyone who had access to the supply closet. Where were you last Friday afternoon? Did you see anyone remove cleaning equipment? Do you have knowledge of any unauthorized supply transfers? I sat in that interview room feeling like a criminal, answering questions about a mop like it was classified intelligence. The investigator took notes, actual written notes. About a mop. Day 2, they brought in military police. Someone suggested the mop might have been stolen. Actual theft investigation. Over a mop. Weston's wife called me that night, said he wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping, kept saying his career was over. 15 years down the drain because a mop went missing on his watch. I tried to tell him it would blow over. Nobody loses their career over a mop, but the investigation kept growing. More interviews, more paperwork, more accusations. Day 3, a private named Langston came forward. Kid looked terrified, said he had information about the missing mop. The entire chain of command assembled in the conference room. Colonel Aldrich sat at the head of the table, ready to finally solve his great mop mystery. Langston stood at attention, voice shaking. Sir, I broke the mop last Thursday. The handle snapped while I was cleaning the latrine. I threw it in the dumpster because I didn't know the proper disposal procedure. Silence, complete silence. Aldrich stared at him. You're telling me this entire investigation, 3 days of battalion resources, dozens of man-hours, was because you threw away a broken mop? Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't think it was a big deal. Aldrich's face went through about 6 different colors. He dismissed everyone without another word. The investigation closed that afternoon. No charges filed. Weston got a verbal apology from the sergeant major. Nothing official, nothing written, just a quiet acknowledgement that maybe things got out of hand. But the damage was done. Weston put in his retirement paperwork the next month, said he couldn't serve under leadership that would destroy someone over a mop. 15 years of perfect service, ended by a broken cleaning tool and a colonel with something to prove. Aldrich got promoted 6 months later, moved to a cushy Pentagon job, probably counts paper clips there too. The supply closet got a new policy. Any damaged equipment must be reported immediately in writing, with photographs, supervisor signature, and a detailed explanation of how the damage occurred. For mops, we had a 4-page protocol for disposing of mops. I kept a laminated inventory sheet from that closet, still have it in a box somewhere. 12 mops, crossed out, replaced with 11 in red ink. Langston finished his contract and got out. Works construction now. Says civilian jobs don't investigate you for 3 days over basic cleaning supplies. Last month, I ran into Weston at a veterans job fair. He's working security at a mall. Makes half what he would have made if he finished his 20 years. Asked him if he ever thinks about the mop incident. He just laughed. Said every time he sees a mop now, his eye twitches. Can't help it. 15 years of service, and his lasting memory is a missing cleaning tool. The worst part is, I checked the regulations after everything settled down. Damaged equipment under $10 doesn't even require paperwork. Langston could have just grabbed a new mop from supply and nobody would have blinked. But Aldrich never asked about proper procedure. He just wanted someone to blame.